Okay. Yeah. So welcome everybody to the retirement celebration for Chief David Massey today. Before we start, I just want to thank everybody that put this together. I know Michelle Bennett, Debbie, the Madwart Company, Josh, many others. I appreciate it. So we do have a lot of people today that offered to speak that were invited. So I'm going to keep it short on my end because I know we do want to hear from Chip, Larry, Dave Ferguson, and Mary Beth. So I'm going to keep my part, and of course the chief. So I just want to, 3 words came to my mind as I was driving here. The 3 words, thinking about the chief and thinking about the experience and everything that I've had with him the last several years, as well as prior years, are appreciation, respect, and admiration. Those are my words that's coming from me. And I'm sure the rest of you feel the same. When I talk about appreciation, I am a homeowner here in Ocean Pines, probably for the last 12 years. I know what Chief has done for this association, as well as the team that he's put together. And I see many of them here and appreciate everything they've done. As far as respect is a two-way process. I have been the GM for the last couple of years. The respect that Chief showed for the GM office throughout the years, as well as when I was there, as well as for me, somebody coming in new, and the Chief obviously being on the force for 18, 20 years, as well as Ocean City. I felt nothing but respect for him, and hopefully he felt the same from me. And I do appreciate that. I can go on all the experiences and everything, whether we went to the academy or anything else. He was proactive in updating me, sharing, letting me know what's going on before and how to handle it. It's truly special. Admiration. Well, what can I say about that except is you've all read the bio on Chief, what he's done for the police department here in Ocean Pines, how he built this up, how he brought it to the next level. Certainly the succession plan, which made it very easy for me. We have a terrific team here. Also, just what he did with Ocean City and throughout his career. But in addition, I didn't realize that he also teaches. He's worked on his doctorate. I believe he received his doctorate. And he has a plan for his retirement, a terrific plan with his lovely wife and team. And when I read that stuff, that's special to me, and I admire that, because he had a terrific career and he certainly has a plan going forward. And I don't know what else to say besides those 3 words, but thank you, Chief. This is your day. A lot of special people here. I know Mary Beth, Chip's here, Dave, and others. So with that, I do have a plaque for you, and I just want to say thank you from everybody.
I had a big, long speech with everything. I'm not going to do it. Hey, I would have dressed up, but I'm retired. I want to thank everybody who came today, all our elected officials. You don't know how much I respect elected officials, because you put yourself out in the arena. Just like police officers, you take a bashing on the media, you take a bashing. A lot of it's undeserved. And I've always admired and respected elected officials and our GMs who have been wonderful. The professionalism and the leadership that they've showed is amazing. And I want to especially thank my family. It's not easy to have a police officer as a father. My kids grew up the cop's daughter, the police officer's daughter. Their mom was a school teacher, and we sacrificed so much being a police officer. The things that I remember in my career, when Aaron was just a baby and my wife was pregnant with her, I had to go to the FBI National Academy for 11 weeks, and my wife was having problems with the baby. And I felt terrible about having to go to the FBI Academy. And when my other daughter, Jill, was 7 years old, I was a patrol captain in Ocean City, and we had a 7-year-old boy who was run over by a Metro Transit bus and killed. And I brought that home with me. And as I pulled in the driveway, my 7-year-old daughter, Jill, came up on her bicycle and said, "Look at me, Daddy, the first day without training wheels." These kinds of things stay with you your whole life. You'll never forget them. And that night I cried like a baby because it was so traumatic. And all these police officers can tell you in their careers, they take things home with them. They don't always share it with their wives. Their divorce rate is higher than everyone else's because the things you see, the deaths, the domestic violence, the things you can't always tell your wife about, the heroin deaths, and the grieving families, and the things that happen. But there's so many good things that also come with this career. The fact that this wonderful community that I've policed in for the last 17 years, they see a police officer, they wave, they say hi. They appreciate it. I can't tell you with a lot of the national controversy how many people have come up to me and said, "We support you. We know you have a tough job. We're there for you." So I never thought I'd be a police officer. I was trained as a school teacher, and I came for a summer job in Ocean City, and that turned into a career. Again, my job as a police officer is to keep my community safe. That is the be-all and that is the end-all of law enforcement. I know with national events as they are, you're going to see a few bad police officers out of the 600,000 that are on the street today protecting you. And I'm never defend a bad police officer. I've had to fire several in my career because that's my job and that's my community and that's who I serve. People like these elected officials and the residents of this community. If I can keep this community safe, that's my number one priority. And we sacrifice a lot to do that, believe me. They're there 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. I work Christmas, I worked Easter, I worked 45 years for 4th of July. I'm staying home this 4th of July, believe me. So I'm just saying, we sacrifice so much to be police officers. And there are a few bad ones, just like in any profession. And I'll never defend them. And if they shoot somebody unnecessarily, lock them up, charge them, fire them. That's the way it is. That's the way it goes. There's so many good police officers. I know because I've had thousands, I've trained thousands, I've worked with thousands. I know they're your sons and daughters. They're good people. And to be a police officer today is a challenge. But I'll say this, the positive thing about law enforcement today, I have a 5-decade view of it. And today's police officer is better educated, better trained, and better equipped than when I started. There've always been good people that have been police officers, but we screen them better, they're better. And this county is so lucky to have such wonderful police officers. And, I've never fired my gun. I've always treated people with dignity and respect, and I always will, because that's our job. And there are times when we deal with people who do not like us, who have been taught from birth to hate us, and you can see the hate in their eyes when you deal with them, but we must endure. We must continue to do our job. And it's hard. And it's hard not to take that home when you have people. My first night on the job in Ocean City as a seasonal officer, I walked up on the boardwalk. All I heard was oink, 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 pig, pig. I knew that's just a little sample of what we have to endure, but we do it. We're public servants. My family, my grandfather on my English side was in the British Army in World War I. My American grandfather was in the American Army in World War I. My father was in World War II at Omaha Beach as an infantry sergeant. My mother was in the British Army. We believe in public service in my family. My daughter's a nurse that gives everything to her community. I'm so proud of her. My wife, Donna, who came to me when I was down and brought me back, was a school teacher who's dedicated her life. Your mother was a school teacher who's given everything to public kids. They're heroes, just like police officers. They've given everything in their lives to their profession. I just want to thank everybody for coming today and taking a minute out of your time. And I appreciate everything you do. We have a wonderful team here. We have a wonderful general manager. We have the best board of directors I've ever had. We have the most wonderful department heads. It's a tremendous team. So thank you. God bless you. And I'm ready for some awards.
Okay, our next speaker is the Ocean Pines president, Larry Perrone.
Well, how do you follow that, right? Chief, on behalf of the Ocean Pines directors, we want to thank you for your 17 years of service. And I can tell you that all the boards of directors that have worked with you feel the same. I think John left one word out when we think of you, and we think of professionalism. You're the epitome of professionalism for a police officer, and Ocean Pines has been very blessed to have you here for the last 17 years running our police department. We're very fortunate now that you've turned it over to Chief Leo, and I'm sure he's got some big shoes to fill, but I'm sure he'll do it. But I got to tell you, I got to question your timing. I think your timing is way off. You know, you pushed us all these years to get you a new building, and you can't even move into the chief's office. Thank you. There you go. Anyway, Chief, I can tell you that we're very happy for you. Retirement is great, and we wish you many years. Thank you.
Okay, next up, Chip Bertino, County Commissioner. Chip.
I am so glad that I did not have to follow the chief when he spoke. All I had to do was follow Larry. There is, I am quite appreciative of the words that John spoke and that Larry said: professionalism, appreciation, respect, and admiration. Boy, I don't think you can say it any better than that. I will say that I am very thankful to the chief as a resident of this community for nearly 30 years. Your 17 years has accomplished a lot. I speak from personal experience. During the time that you were chief, I never got a traffic ticket in Ocean Pines. Chief Leo, you're up now, okay? If I may, I'd like to read this commendation to the chief on behalf of the county and the county commissioners.
Commissioner Bertino, maybe the chief would like to join you social distance so he can hear you.
Thank you, Senator Carozza. Yeah, I want you to know that the senator and I did not at all rehearse that little go-between between the two of us right now. We just did it on the fly. Chief, whereas Chief David C. Massey has dedicated 46 years of law enforcement, beginning with his career as a seasonal officer for the Ocean City Police Department, where he rose through the ranks to lead the department as police chief from 1993 to 2002, and investing another 17 years of service as the chief of police for the Ocean Pines Police Department. And whereas Chief Massey helped to shape both police department policies, procedures, and instituted new programs that reduced crime rates, improved community relations, and thereby enhanced the quality of life enjoyed by both residents and visitors in Worcester County. And I'm just going to take a side here. Ocean Pines is one of the safest communities, if not in the state, in the nation, and I think we have the chief to thank for that. Thank you. Now, therefore, we, the county commissioners of Worcester County, do hereby commend Chief Massey for the years of devoted service and career contributions to law enforcement in Worcester County, and we wish him a happy and healthy retirement, executed under the seal of the great county of Worcester, state of Maryland, the 27th day of August in the year of our Lord, 2020. Sorry about that. Signed below the county commissioners. Can I shake your hand? Yes. Here you go. Josh, can I get an 8x10 glossy? And Chief, if you'd sign that. Thank you.
Okay, next up, prior GM, David Ferguson. David?
You mentioned about the respect and admiration you had for Dave. You need to know I got up at 5 o'clock this morning to get here, and I would have, traveling from New Jersey through Delaware and Maryland, I would have had to self-quarantine myself for 14 days when I got back. Fortunately, Tuesday, they exempted Maryland and Delaware, so I'll be able to go back with a good conscience. Anyway, want to congratulate Leo for being a chief. He was here a number of years before I got here. I came in 1999. At that time, we had a really good chief of police in Rod Murray. Understand Rod is still with us. He came from D.C. and he had been a commander of one of the districts there. So he was well qualified, really an excellent chief of police. However, the department suffered from poor pay. I don't know what you guys were making at that time, but it was barely minimum wage, I think. Huge turnover. And the biggest issue was that the police officers were special police with very limited police powers. Rod stayed on till I'm not sure exactly when he left, but fortunately he was able to help me recruit Dave from Ocean City. Dave came with an incredible background and commitment to law enforcement and community policing. So one of the things we focused on when he came was to try to get better pay, improve morale, and most importantly, get certified. And Dave jumped on that, and I don't know how many, within a year and a half or so, thanks for help from their legislators, it was achieved. So that now the police officers at least are, quote, real policemen, whereas before they were always looked on and couldn't compete with the county police or the sheriff's department or nearby police departments. One of the things that Dave obviously focused on was community policing. I think he mentioned some of the things about what police officers really do. Most people get their impression from television shows, and it's cops and robbers and shoot 'em up. I think all you guys can attest that that's really not much of what you do. You mentioned you never fired your gun. In all my years of working with police departments, there was only one individual who shot his gun, and that was an accidental shooting in the locker room. He shot himself in the foot. So really the weapon is not used anywhere near what you see on television. But anyway, with the focus on community policing, Dave was able to really generate respect for the department and improve the morale and hopefully be able to attract better police officers. I've been in town management for 42 years, counting Ocean Pines. 30 of that was in New Jersey as a city manager in New Jersey. So I had a lot of experience working with police. I'd worked with 10 police chiefs. I appointed 5 of them. I can tell you without any doubt, Dave was the best I've ever worked with. He's not only the best in this area, I think he's one of the best nationwide. And I truly enjoyed working with you. I was proud to be able to work with you. Dave mentioned some of the problems that we're seeing now with police. I'm sure he would attest to it. 99% of the police officers are good, solid public servants doing their job. It's only the few that are giving everybody else the bad name. But one thing that I can be assured of is that Dave is going to continue teaching and writing and training. And so I'm sure police officers in this area will be rise to the occasion of expectations that Dave made. So again, congratulations on your retirement. Stay busy. My advice, stay busy. I flunked retirement and I'm still working. So stay busy, stay healthy, and God bless.
Thank you, Dave. Okay, next up, Maryland State Senator Mary Beth Carozza. Mary Beth?
Mary Beth, why don't you ask the chief to come up?
All right, look, just so I don't get in trouble, okay? Sorry, I have to do all that. Chief, if you would join me, please. And I'm going to give you some room because you said you want these special citations, and they are coming. But first, I'm going to say a few words from my heart. First, I was very humbled to be invited to this event today. And it gave me the opportunity to reflect on your 17 years as police chief here in Ocean Pines, but also your service as police chief in Ocean City, and also your whole family commitment to public safety and public service, starting with your parents that you talked about. I mean, a World War II Normandy vet, your mom with in the British Army and her service. So it's clearly in your blood. So I really believe that opportunities like today, that we don't miss them, that this is our opportunity to not only recognize and thank you for your deep commitment to public safety service throughout your entire life. And I have a special connection because, as you know, I grew up in Ocean City and I live there now, but I also am a homeowner and my parents live in Ocean Pines. So I am a direct beneficiary of Chief Massey's leadership because Ocean City was always safe as far as you made a commitment about keeping crime down. You come to Ocean Pines, it's already been noted by Commissioner Bertino, one of the safest communities in the state of Maryland. Community policing, making a difference. And we really need to honor this today, especially in light of what our law enforcement family is going through. And so to take time now to recognize a lifetime of commitment to public safety service is so important. And when I went back and read a little bit about your reflections, you noted 2 words: leadership and consistency. And with leadership, Dave Massey was on a leadership track from the very first day he was hired as that seasonal police officer in Ocean City. He went up through the ranks and became chief. And the consistency of having that goal of keeping the community safe of keeping crime down, of involving people, of having a good team. And I listened today, there's been a consistent theme. You know, the chief is recognizing that it's his team as well. He has standards. He expects his team to reach those standards. And if they don't, he's not going to tolerate it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is real leadership. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to present a couple of awards. We will start Chief Massey with an official proclamation resolution from the Maryland State Senate. I'm going to read it. We'll show you it is official. And it says, "Be it hereby known to all that the Senate of Maryland offers its sincerest congratulations to Chief David Massey in recognition of your 46 years of dedicated public safety service to the combined Ocean Pines and Ocean City communities, including, of course, your 17 years as chief here in Ocean Pines. And I will note that the entire membership of the Maryland State Senate have joined me in presenting this resolution to you today." So. Okay. And there's more. In these days of COVID-19, it's actually very difficult to request and to receive a resolution from the governor of the state of Maryland, but we have done that here today. And just a little background with the governor, when he allows you to present his resolution, he likes to get a report back that you actually did it in person. So you all will be my witnesses. And it is very humbling to present this on behalf of Governor Hogan, who, as you know, has always been a strong supporter of law enforcement. And if I could, I'd like his family to join the chief behind him. His family would come up.
Come up.
And it says, State of Maryland, official seal, Governor of the State of Maryland, to Chief David Massey, greetings. Be it known that on behalf of the citizens of this state, in recognition of your 46 years of distinguished and outstanding service you have made on behalf of the Ocean Pines community and Ocean City, and in appreciation of the expertise, professionalism, and commitment you have demonstrated throughout your distinguished career, and as the people of Maryland join together in expressing our great respect, admiration, and sincere best wishes on the occasion of your retirement, we are pleased to confer upon you this governor's citation, and it is signed by our governor, Larry Hogan. Congratulations, and if everybody can join. Thank you, Chief Massey, from the heart.
Okay, next on is, it says open the floor. So I guess if anybody wants to say anything or to the chief, or if everybody just wants a big round of applause, that's great. Anybody? Okay, Chief. The next part, and I just want to say, Ocean Pines built this building, and it is a beautiful building. But what makes it to the next level is what John Malinowski and his golf team does, and also the Ralph, the Madwart Company. They have a beautiful spread for you today. I just want to recognize Leah, Katie, Ralph back there, and Lewis. I really appreciate everything you do, and I know everybody now, you're going to have a great luncheon. So with that, food's open. Thank you.